Ever notice how even in a small group, like a team at work or even just a family, how it can feel like everything's kind of tangled up? Like one person's late and then suddenly everyone's day is thrown off.
Yeah, totally. It's like a chain reaction.
That's exactly the kind of thing we're going to dig into today. This whole idea of interconnectedness, but more specifically, looking at what are called closed
The
systems.
closed systems.
We're going deep on this using the book Project Management for Project Managers by Orlando Casabone. It's a really fascinating way to understand how these kind of self-contained units, these systems, actually work.
Okay, I'm intrigued. So what's the deal with a closed system then?
Well, the basic idea is that you have a limited number of different parts, and they're all tangled up together, each one influencing the others. Have you ever stopped to think about how, like, the different parts of a project you're working on all connect and rely on each other?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, especially when a deadline's looming, right?
Yeah.
You really start to see how one delay can snowball.
Exactly. And that's a perfect example of how these elements within a closed system are definitely not independent.
Right. It's like the opposite of independent.
And something the book points out that's really important is that we can figure out what these elements are and how they work. It's not this mysterious thing. We can often even measure them.
I see. So it's
Yeah.
not just like a feeling, it's something we can actually get a handle on.
Exactly. And the way they're connected, those connections aren't just random. There are rules or patterns that govern how these elements actually influence each other.
Okay, so like there's a logic to it.
Exactly. Like think about oh, I don't know, a simple machine like a lever. If you put more weight on one side, the other side goes up, right? But it's not random. It's all about the physics of the lever and how it's designed. That's a kind of a rudimentary closed system.
That's a great example. So basically, a system is a bunch of these elements all interacting, kind of like a dance where every move affects the others.
Exactly. It's the interaction, that dance, that creates the overall behavior of the system, how it works and what it produces. It's not just the individual parts, it's how they all work together within this kind of defined boundary.
It's like maybe a small team working on a really focused task.
Mm.
If, say, the designer gets sick and can't finish the designs, the copywriter can't write the text, and the social media manager can't schedule the posts.
And then the whole launch is delayed.
Right, exactly.
It's like that saying, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. And it's so important to understand this, especially if you're, someone who manages projects or teams or just about anything really, because once you see how things are interconnected, you approach problems differently. You're not just focused on one little task in isolation anymore.
It's that bigger picture thinking, right? You start to see the domino effect, how a change in one part of the system can ripple out and affect everything else.
Exactly. So the big takeaway here is that in a closed system, nothing exists in a vacuum. Everything is connected, and actions in one place have consequences that spread throughout the whole system.
It's all about recognizing those connections and understanding how each element has its own sphere of influence.
Yeah.
That's key to navigating and really making a difference in any system you're part of.
So, thinking about this idea of everything being linked, what's one area in your work or life where you could benefit from understanding the interconnectedness of different parts? If you're curious to learn more about these concepts and really dive into how interconnected elements drive results, I highly recommend Project Management for Project Managers by Orlando Casabone. It's a fantastic resource.